Somebody forgot to charge their headphones. Oh, well. You can hear me okay? Okay. Sorry about that. We may pick up a lot of stray ambient sound, but we're no strangers to that. Oh, hello. So we're winding down. Was it only just a few weeks to go? Yeah, I see some smiles. How long is it? We have this week, and I'm out of focus. All right, let me fix my focus. All right. Um, Disabled off. Okay. There, I'm in focus now. If only I was in focus up here. That'll be like 3 or 4 more coffees from now and a few hours. So what do we have left? Somebody tell me.
Just this horse project. And I
Anybody?
guess the final.
Okay, I'm not hearing. If anyone's speaking, I'm not hearing you.
Testing.
All right, can you? All right, now let's try.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Good. I still had the headphone cord plugged into the sound jack. So that's where the sound was going. It was going off into the wire and never coming back. So what have we got left?
Well, when you first asked that, I said the horse thing, and I guess the final.
No, I meant in terms of number of weeks, number of classes.
Oh,
I think it's 4 weeks. Because we're
4
in
weeks? Oh,
I'd say 3 or 2.5.
yeah. Hey, any people traveling for Easter?
Going to Florida.
Okay. So reason I'm asking is I was wondering if anyone would benefit from canceling class on Thursday.
Yeah, I'm going home.
Okay, and I saw Ida change her head orientation. Okay, anybody else?
I am, but I'm probably leaving in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
My mom's gonna pick up my brother first, so.
Yeah. Yeah. Is he heavy?
Her.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Well, why don't we make an executive decision that we will not have class on Thursday, and you can get started on your Easter break, spring break, abbreviated as it is, a little early. How does that sound? Okay. Now, if you would like to work on your project, I will be I'll be available. I'm very happy to meet with you. And that includes the people who want to go back and redo older projects or missing projects. So I will open the classroom on Thursday as per normal, and for the purpose of helping people who would like help on their projects, either the current project or any of the past projects. Okay? So I'd like to see everyone get an A. All right. So review. Anybody have any questions?
This isn't about the material, but is our final gonna be during the normal scheduled time?
We had a conversation, right, about when you prefer the final. So it was my usual practice to give the final in the last class period. But I seem to recall that we talked about it as a group. Does anyone recall that? Okay, well, let's get the consensus of the room here. What would you prefer? So two choices, final during the last class period or during the summary period after the end of classes.
I would
use the
prefer the
latter
last
word.
class period.
I would too.
I would as well.
Okay. All right, the final will be during the last class period. Let me pull out a calendar and let's nail that down. So let's see, we have Thursday we talked about, that's April 1st. And then we have a full week of classes, the 6th and the 8th. And then we have another full week of classes, the 13th and the 15th. And it turns out that the 15th is the last day of class. So let me mark that down. That's the 1100 final. We'll be in class on Thursday, the 15th. Let me edit that because I screwed it up. Okay. Okay, so Thursday on the 15th, April 15th. What happens on April 15th? Not this year, actually. I understand the tax deadline has been moved by 1 month. Did I get that right, or am I making up wishful thinking? Anybody care?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, good. All right, but now what's the really tragic thing that happened on April 15th?
The Titanic sunk and then Abraham Lincoln died.
There
I
you go.
only know
And we
this
have a
because my
final?
birthday is the 14th.
Your birthday is the 14th?
Yeah, and the Titanic hit the iceberg on my birthday, and Abraham Lincoln got shot on my birthday, but neither of the two things actually happened until the 15th.
Right. So do people avoid you on the 14th?
No, but they all think I'm gonna die a very tragic death.
Oh, no, we don't believe that. We don't believe that. Yep. Interestingly, the sinking of the Titanic brought about the creation of the FCC, the Federal Communications Commission, because there was so much inaccurate reporting via radio, which was in its infancy, surrounding the sinking of the Titanic. Nobody survived. Everybody survived. It was ridiculous, and it was all going out by infant radio. And immediately after that, the federal government stepped in and started regulating the airwaves. So interesting. You know, my software did the effects in Titanic, right? You know,
Software did a really good job.
I hope you mean the movie.
yeah, no, in the movie, both in the 2D version and the 3D version. So did all that work, and I don't get a Christmas card from James Cameron, and it pisses me off. Okay, so nobody has a review question.
I have a quick question on the project.
Yeah, Perfect.
I don't know why I was just getting this slight error. I don't know if it's just because we haven't I haven't done more with it yet, but can I share my screen real quick?
Sure can. I'd like to see your slight error.
There we go.
Okay.
It gives me that. So I don't know if it's just I haven't done enough with it yet.
Okay, so this is, did you show this last week?
What?
Did you show this error last week?
No.
Okay. Because this was happening to somebody and I was really puzzled. I was stumped by it, in fact. Now, the error message is saying that the image is bad. It's saying that the image had a size of 0. And that's happening in the IM show. And that was on line, can't read it. Line 24, yep, so that's where the IM show is. So what would make the image go bad? Let's see, the current index is 0 the first time through. I'm sure this happens the first time through, right?
Mhm.
Immediately goes to the error when you run it?
When I first typed everything in, it worked once and then the errors just came in. So I don't know if it's something I did on accident or
Uh-huh. Yeah. And has your laptop been restarted?
I probably could do that and see if it works.
Yeah, I'm wondering if there's some window hanging around. Are you on Mac or Windows?
I'm on a Mac.
Okay. Oh, I should have been able to tell that because it says ZSH. So click in your terminal window down below.
Oops.
Yeah, and say PS. And
PS.
return. Yep, PS. And hit return. Yeah, nothing running. Is the right thing. How about try PS space -X? And that'll probably be too much information. Yeah, that's way too much information. So do the same thing. And then type space. And there's the vertical bar above your return key. So it's a shift backslash. Yep. And now type in GREP space THON. T's in Thomas, like the end of Python. THON. Back up 4. Okay. T's in Thomas.
Oh, okay.
HON. Okay, hit enter. All right. Hmm. Well, let's try one thing. Say kill, the word kill, space, -9, -9, space, 6719, and space, and 6722. Okay, hit enter. And try your program. Is it Python 3?
Maybe that's. I don't know.
Yeah, it didn't help. Yeah, this was a real mystery.
I could
Uh,
restart my Mac another time or just like try and create a whole new one and see if that does anything.
Yeah. Okay, I'm game for trying to restart the Mac,
Okay.
but it may not help. Okay. All right, well, so we'll see you back in a little bit.
Okay.
And while Sarah's gone, everybody, let's talk about her. Okay? Okay.
So was this a thing that last time, was this the thing that last time there was the error with the image itself? Like when it downloaded?
Yes, that was one person. Then another
Uh.
person had the same problem and it stumped me. So yeah, when Sarah comes back, excuse me, I'm gonna. So when Sarah comes back, we'll check out the pictures themselves. It's a lovely time of the year, isn't it? For those with allergies.
You know, allergies suck, but as far as my depression goes, I'm so happy that the sun is back.
The sun
I'm
is
so
back.
happy that the sun exists again.
Yep, yep. Okay, all right, so last time we ended with talking about what would get you the little bit closer to finishing the project. Did everybody notice that the project is online? Let's see, let me go find it. And then I'll project in a minute. Okay. So P5, the link is here. Make sure that link works for me, please. Sorry about that. Okay, so so here's the one with the blink comparator. And this GIF image is the pictures you'll be working with. So this text has an introduction to OpenCV, and we wrote this program. And this program is a lot of the way towards finishing the actual project, which is down below. So your turn, making a flip book from Muybridge horse photos. The idea is that like in the current program, you're going to somehow make a list of the image data that's been read in, and then if you hit the S key, you'll move forward, cycle forward in that list, showing the next picture and the next picture. The idea is when you're on the last picture and you go forward, you have to cycle back to the first picture. Wrap around. If you hit the A key, then you go backwards in the list. And if you're on the first picture, wrapping around means going from the first to the last. Okay. Hi, Sarah.
Hello. It was no help.
Well, let's take another couple of minutes on your situation.
Okay.
Can you show your screen?
Yes.
All right, and show us your file section, that one, yep. Oh, I don't, oh, okay. Link Pluto, oh, I wonder if it's simply just not finding the pictures. Would you try for me on line 9 and line 10? So yeah, after, right where your cursor is, move backward 1 character and try PLUTO slash, but you need to put back the single quote. Yeah, yeah, that, just like that. Try that. Now, I would have thought if the image couldn't be loaded, you'd get an error. So try that now, save.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh wait, maybe.
No change. How is this possible? Can you left click on one of those pictures, please?
One of these.
Yeah, on both, actually. So 1, all right, that works. 2, that works. So your pictures are all right. All right, let's go to your code. And on line 11, just say print, open parentheses, and say images. And let's run that. Remember to save it.
Oops.
Okay, go ahead. None and none. So the images didn't load. Okay. Hmm. In the terminal window, can you type LS and hit enter? Oh, okay. So there's 2 directories below. All right, so in your editor on line 9 and 10, what we're gonna do is we're gonna move the pictures so that they're in the same directory as you are. So remove the Pluto slash from both those lines. I misread that, sorry. So remove that, save. And down in your terminal, type in MV space BL and hit tab, and slash PL and hit tab, star, the asterisk, nope, the asterisk, space, and a period. And hit enter. And LS. And hit enter. Okay, so try your program again, and I'm thinking it's going to work. All right, let's get rid of that print statement. And it looks like the images were loaded this time, and we have an error on line 27. Okay, because line 27 is sort of the old and the new formatting. So the problem, if you could move your cursor to the single quote after the word quit. Okay, now enter, move over 1 to the right, parenthesis, just the closing parenthesis, sorry. Yeah, and period. Format. Oh, okay, brain fault. Remove the period. Remove the space parenthesis, percent. Okay, And now cut current index. Just cut that. And move 3 characters to the left. Good, comma, paste. Comma. Whoops, inside the parenthesis, please. Yeah, and paste.
It was just the current index, right?
Index. Yep. All right, and let's see. Okay, save and try that. And look around for the window. It's probably behind this one.
It is. It works with the space bar.
And also Q to quit. Yeah,
I
don't.
did, yeah. It
Okay,
works.
good.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
So the problem was ImRead seems to want to fail silently. So what do you think we could do to guard? I'd like your ideas, your input, everybody. What can we do to guard against that?
Did you say she wants to fail silently?
No, it looks like ImRead is failing silently, which I'm very surprised about. Okay, if you could stop sharing. This is actually part of the lessons for today. So it's a natural segue. You'll see why in a moment. Let me get myself set up. New window. All right, and of course it wants to update. So give me a minute. I don't, okay, it's opening again. Good, I'm almost there. And I'm gonna, ooh, I have a bad file. Cool. All right, I'm gonna start showing my screen in a moment. And here we go. Okay, so here's a Python program. If you would, let's learn just a few things from the OS module. In the past, we've used sys, and we used in particular sys.argv, so we know how to do that. Here is another package that is designed to allow Python to interact with the operating system on the computer that you're using. So this is just going to be a simple little example. So do this, import OS, and I need to save this as a, okay. So now we have access to the OS module. And in fact, just for a moment, I'm going to switch to a terminal. Import OS. And I'm going to use that, the dir command to see what's inside OS. And there's going to be a lot. This will look pretty intimidating. Wow. So all of these, beginning with, well, I wonder what ABC does, but beginning with ABC and going all the way through the end, these are all features and services of the OS package that you can make use of. So the one that I'm going to show you first. Hello, where is it?
I have a question.
Yeah.
So I know that we were allowed to use a bunch of stuff on Replit because Replit has a bunch of things.
Uh-huh.
Do we have to download this, or is this something that Python's going to be able to look at just like Replit was?
Oh, good question. So the OS package, I'm going to give an answer and maybe it'll be
Yeah.
even an answer to the question you asked. You let me know.
It'll be what?
What?
It'll be what? Even?
Maybe I'll give you an answer and maybe it's even the answer to the question you asked.
Oh, good. I
In a random sentence.
love it.
So I think what you're referring to is that some packages we had to install.
Yeah, like matplotlib.
Yes, good. So I did understand the question.
Yes.
OS is a package that comes installed by default.
Okay.
Every Python system has it.
So we're just going to import it?
Yeah, let's see. We're going to make use of some of the path commands. All right. So I'm going to do one more dir. So of OS, that's the output of dir OS is what you see. But I'm going to do one more level deep, os.path. So these functions give you access to file names and file paths. So here, let's take a look at some of these. In particular, os.path.exists, and I'm going to give it a file name, which is pretty sure is not there. And it says false. Okay, let me create one. Let me create a file. Okay, so now I've got a file called foo. And watch, so os.path.exists, and I'll give it the name foo. And the answer is true. Okay, so let's use this to add to your program. And we should be able to tell whether or not a file exists before we try to open it. Because it looks like imread is just failing silently. Let's try that here. I'm still surprised. Import CV2.
Where are you typing all this in?
What, where, who, what?
What are you using to type all this in?
Oh, this is the regular Python direct access. So remember when you use the console in Replit? Same thing.
Yeah, so for us, is that the command prompt?
Yeah, if you're working on your own computer, then here, let me exit. So here's my terminal, and I'm going to run Python locally. So on a Mac, it's Python 3, and on Windows, it's just Python. And it tells me I'm running Python 3, which is what I want. You probably have 3.9, some of you. So import CV2, and let's see what happens when you say CV2.imread, and here's a file that doesn't exist. So this is what was happening for Sarah. Let's see what the return value is. Look at that. It doesn't return anything. There's no error. Oh, okay. Well, now that we know that imread is kind of untrustworthy, we have to put in our own error checking. So import OS. And os.path.exists and ed, and that'll say false. So the idea here is that before we do an imread with a file name, let's check to make sure the file name exists. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to my editor. Actually, this time I'll just go here. All right. And we want to work with p1.jpg and p2.jpg, is that right? Or is it ping?
No, they're JPEGs.
Okay. So what if we did something like this? And I'm going to show you later how to avoid this as well. Do something more sophisticated. So suppose we had a list, file names of the pictures we want to load. Oh, I don't know, something like 0.jpg, 1.jpg, 2.jpg, 3.jpg, right? And that's for the project 5. So I'll give it p1.jpg, comma, p2.jpg. Okay. And in the program that we wrote so far, we created a list of the output of ImRead. So maybe we'll write a function. Okay, check files and check the files. And we'll give it a list of file names. Okay, now who remembers the syntax for creating a for loop that will iterate through all of the entries in that list? Can somebody tell me? So it's a for loop, FOR. Then a variable name in the list of file names. Now let's use our new knowledge with OS. So if os.path.exists fname, and actually we want to say if not exists. Okay, so if not exists, let's do a nice error message. I don't know why that spit out at the bottom, but that's okay. So file name, fname cannot be found. And we'll probably want to exit prematurely. Okay. So let me give you a moment to absorb this, and then we'll write comments. So how about some comments? And the way to write, so Python doesn't really have a multi-line comment symbol. Instead, you wrap it in a multi-line comment in an extended string. An extended string is 3 single quotes in a row. Weird, but that's the way it is. So typically, you'll start with the name of the function. And I'll say, this function takes a list of names which represent files. It, the function, will enumerate the list, checking to, oh, I love it when the left and right justify happens, checking to see if each file exists. if a file is found not to exist. Oh boy, look at that. 3 times in a row, twice in a row. The program, the function will print an error and exit the program. Okay? All right. Now, it's a question of taste, whether or not a function should be allowed to exit by itself. Maybe you want to return a Boolean that says the function failed. But in this case, we're writing it so that if it finds a bad file, it simply exits. All right. So how about some comments inside? What is the next line going to do? This is the enumerate the strings in list of file names. And then finally, check if f name is a real file, and if not, exit. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that function. And I'm fairly happy with the comments that I wrote. All right, let's make use of it now. And we'll do that to make it look more like one of your real Python programs. We'll create a function for it. And this is really a little overkill, but that's okay. So how about this? Check files with file names. Now, if we get here, we didn't exit. So the file names were found. You may have a question as to how long should you allow your code lines to get? And the traditional answer is all lines of code should be 80 columns or less. So don't try to go beyond 80 columns. And if you look down here, you see that I'm on column 68. Anybody have a guess as to where the number 80 comes from? All right, let me.
No, but I've noticed before when you've done comments in Replit that it seemed like you were, I don't know, entering to a new line before it seemed necessary at the time.
Okay, so can you see what I see? A browser?
Yep.
Okay, this is a Hollerith card, HOLLERITH, and also known as a punch card. And if you look, let's see, a Hollerith card, that should be, there we go. How many columns does it have? Way over here. It has 80 columns. So this is, and Hollerith cards, by the way, are well over 100 years old. Before computers, they were used for other types of tabulating machines. So a machine, a punch card machine, would make holes in certain locations in order to encode data. And they were 80 columns across. Let me show you a picture. Model 29, IBM, my old, I actually want to buy one of these, put it in the basement, but I'm sure my wife would never forgive me. Let's take a look here. All right, that is a Model 29 key punch machine, and that was the Cadillac of key punch machines. So empty cards would stack here. They would drop down when the next card was needed, and you'd type here on the keyboard, and as you typed, the card would slide to the left, and when it was done, a card, when you went to go to the next card, the one on the left would slide further to the left and then take a ride up to a stacking tray up here. Very cool. And the sound they made, the keyboard was just wonderful. But looking down here, so as you typed, different patterns would be made in the holes that were created. So for example, an A would be represented by a hole way up here and then a hole on the one line. A B would be a hole here and then a hole on the two line, etc. So thank you for allowing me this little digression. It was a trip down memory lane for me. I'll tell you another few stories about punch cards, or at least one more story. So I wonder if I could find an example. This picture here is when you wanted to make duplicates of a card. You'd thread it onto a drum, and then the machine would read the holes and automatically duplicate. Okay, so I want to show you one more picture. Deck of punch cards. Let's see if we can find one more picture. Okay, yeah, good example. Let's get this. All right. So this might be somebody's program. Okay. And you would wrap your punch cards in a, either put them in a box, form-fitting box, or wrap them with rubber bands. But what would happen if you ever got them out of order? That was a disaster. The worst of all is dropping your deck on the floor. So how do you put them back in the right order? Because there's no line numbers, there's no card numbers on each card. Can anybody guess? What about this picture that I wanted to show you?
Ah, it's the red line.
Right, so with this person obviously didn't do it very well, but with a fine point marker, you want to draw either a picture or usually a diagonal line, so that when you put the cards back next to each other, cards that were out of order would make a jaggy line. And when the cards were in order, there would be a smooth line. What a delightful trip down memory lane. Okay. All right. I have no idea what I was talking about before I went on that tangent. Oh yeah. So try not to make your lines of code or comments longer than 80 characters. However, the number 80 is a soft number. It's a historical vestige of a bygone era. The reason why you don't want to make your lines too long is suppose you had a fairly narrow window. You want to avoid the user having to do this to understand your code. So if your lines are too long, you won't be able to see the entire contents at once. And that's a problem. Okay. Okay, ready to try it? Look, we need one more. What's the thing that I'm missing? Anybody? It's an if statement. Anybody?
Is that if dunder main?
Good. If name dunder equals single quote. Oh, that's the wrong kind of single quote. Underscore main, and run the program. Okay. So what I want now is an ordinary terminal. Exit. Okay, so Python 3. What is the name? It's test.py. All right, so let's, so as you can see, there is no test.py here in my temporary. I'm sorry, there is no P1 and P2.jpg. So copy buffet link comparator star dot jpeg here. Okay, so now I have lots of them, including P1 and P2. Let's see what the program produces now. All files were found. Okay, so when you're working with multiple files, maybe a function like this is a good idea. Okay, and what we're leveraging OS and the path module within OS, and then the function exists. So OS gives you a huge number of services that allow you to make use of the operating system that you're on. Now, the value of the OS package is that the OS package factors out all the differences between the operating systems, so that a Python program written on Windows doesn't have to deal with the differences between Windows and the Mac. A Python program written on the Mac doesn't have to deal with differences on Windows. So that a Python program, no matter where you write it, will be able to run on other OSs. Okay? All right. So tell you what, I'm going to duplicate the other program. I'll do it real fast. So let's say this is going to be our blink comparator. And we can do this. So for F name in file names. Let's see, we want to create a list. Images is that list. It's an empty list. Images.append cv2.imread and fname. Okay. Now, I suppose we should be even more careful and truly make sure that the picture loaded. So if images, now I just appended something to a list. So how do I get, what's an easy way to get to the last? If I just appended something, it must be last. So what's an easy way of testing or accessing the last entry?
-1.
Perfect. This is a Python keyword, which amazingly we haven't really needed yet. So I noticed that imread would return none if it failed. So if imread, the one that we just added to the list images, is none, file fname could not be, it was found, but it wasn't an image. And maybe we'll exit here too. All files read in. How's that? So I wrote a little, let's test a little. And what did I get wrong? Line 26. The truth value of an array with more than one element right, but I'm only looking at the last element. Okay. But it does give me an idea. Why don't we make use of the list.any, which means that we'll images dot any equals none. Let's try that. Oh, you're just busting my chops. Oh, well, never go off script. The truth value in an array with more than one element is ambiguous. Use a.any. Okay, I did. Yeah. How embarrassing for the professor. I'm going to put it back the way it was. I'm really confused as to why. All right, how about we do it this way? Length of images -1. All right, let's try that. Boy, it's just not my day today. Let me just check my assumptions. Python 3, import CV2, and print CV2.imread with a bad file name, and it returns none.
Does
Anybody
the
help me out here?
does the word none in the code have to be in quotes?
No, you see how it turns blue. So it's a keyword. Image is not append. And what if I put in a 0 here? Because then clearly I'm talking about just one. Yeah. Python 3 test.py. The truth value of an array, but I'm not asking for the truth value of an array. I'm asking for the truth value of just one entry. Okay, I'm going to cheat. And I'm going to do this. Image equals cv2 dot imread f name. I'm going to cheat. This is what you do when you can't. All right, that's got to work. And if it doesn't, we're ending class, and I'm going to go sit in a dark closet. Am I like forgetting to save the? What's going on here? Okay. Well, I think what it's actually doing is saying that, well, let me put in a bad file name. And I bet now I'm thinking the bad file name will work and the good file names don't.
Mine just worked.
Yours worked, but with
Yeah.
a good file name or a bad file name?
Well, I got down to the files read in, all files read in.
Ah, okay. So, all right. How about this? Maybe. All right. Forgive me for doing this. Ah, okay. So I found a safe way of doing this. And if the file can't be recognized as a picture, it will return something. It'll return none, and the length of none is 0. If it returns more than 0 bytes, the picture was read properly. And that's how I solved that problem. That was an ordeal. Okay, so all pictures read in. Questions? So it was the pictures that worked. And the array that the error message was talking about was the picture data, not images. All right, so key equals a dummy value. And while the key is not equal to the letter Q, and we also need a current index. Whoops. So im cv2.imShow, give it the name of a window and which image to show. So images current index, and wait for a key, chr cv2.wait key with a 0. And now we want to advance, we want to ping pong back and forth. Okay, so now one last, cv2 dot destroy all windows. Okay, I think we're finally back to where we used to be. but with a little bit of extra error checking. Let's try it. And there's my. Okay. Cue to quit. All right. So questions about this code?
Why is there a 0 after wait key?
The 0 after the wait key is the number of milliseconds to wait for an answer or a key. Giving the value of 0 means wait forever.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, is there any reason that we need to know why Python keeps putting red squiggles under CV2?
That's going to be a flaw in Visual Studio Code's Python support. It's a flaw.
Oh, okay. So it's not our problem.
Correct. It's not your problem.
Okie doke.
However, what is your problem is it means that Visual Studio Code is not being as helpful as it could be.
For me, it says images is not defined on line 34, where it's the cv2.im show.
Mhm.
I don't know why it says images isn't defined.
Okay.
Do you want me to share my screen?
I'd love it.
Okay.
Ah, I see why. Can anyone, does anyone else see why? Anybody?
Is it because images was defined as a list under def main?
Yep, you're on the right track. And
And the while is, I don't know, flush with the outside.
yes,
It's not reading the stuff in def main.
correct. So what's going on here is that lines 30 through 37 should be indented under main. Okay, try that. Remember to save.
There we go.
Good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else?
Mine is saying that list index is out of range, like for my current index.
Okay, I'll bet there's a line missing. Could you show us your screen?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, and it's saying line 33. Okay, so there is a missing line. And the line is missing after line 28 and before line 29. So it's saying your list is empty.
Oh. So what am I missing?
Anybody?
Images dot append image.
Uh,
Yes, that's right. Good. All right, save that, try it.
okay, it works.
Good. All right, anybody else?
It's telling me I got a syntax error on line 20.
All right, can you show us?
Yes. So right here.
Okay, can someone help?
You're missing the equal sign in between images and the brackets.
That's
Is that
right.
what it's supposed to be?
Yeah, it's supposed to be images and then equals and then the brackets.
Just
'Cause-
equals or equals equals?
Nope, just one equals.
Good.
Right.
Good job. Isn't that interesting? On your machine, the red squiggles, oh, the red squiggles are back. Okay, try it out, make sure it works.
Says list index out of range.
What line? Oh, sorry.
26. I think it says
Okay.
42 and 26.
On line 26, you have a mixture of the old version and the new version. Let me show you my screen, okay? Could you stop?
Yeah.
All right.
26. If an image.
You had code left over from when I was getting it wrong, so that's my
Oh.
fault.
If an image. Zero. Line 37.
Okay.
Okay, now it's giving me another error for something I'm pretty sure we have the same thing on.
Okay, if you could show us. And, oh, I see what's wrong.
What is it?
Well, I'm going to ask the class. Does anybody else see what's wrong?
The W in weight should not be capitalized. In
Excellent.
weight.
Micah, you got to read the error messages. Read the error messages.
I thought you typed that too. And wait, did that person say something else? Because I thought I heard them say and.
No.
Oh.
All right, remember to
Okay,
save.
then.
Yep.
All right, save.
Okay. So somewhere that window is there, and you get
It's
queued.
you can't see it. It's up.
Okay, good. Now take a
Oh,
what?
I was gonna say I'll get out of this, but what were you gonna say?
So take a look at the left-hand side of Colin's screen. You got horse 1, horse 2, horse 3, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
Now,
I downloaded all the pictures of the horse.
good. But let me ask the class a question. Now, in project 5, you need to load all of those. So let's talk about ways of finding all those files. What's one way that you could use? And Colin, if you scroll up on your code, Okay, so look at line 4. Okay, that's one way you could use to find all your pictures, right? But why is that not a great idea? Because the picture names are now built into the code and hard-coded, so to speak. And hard-coding the names of files is not always a good idea. In fact, rarely is it a good idea. Now, we learned how to specify file names on the command line, right?
I think.
So tell you what, let's modify this program to take the file names from the command line. Okay, if you could stop sharing. All right. So what do you need to do in order to make use of the command line? Anybody?
Import sys.
Good. Good. And how about we write a function that collects the names of the files? All right. And from the command line, because I want to rewrite this using a different technique with new knowledge later. Okay, so from the command line, I'm going to erase this. So file names is empty. In fact, I'm going to eliminate file names entirely. Okay, can you help me write this? Can you help me? I'll start you off. If the length of sys.argv is less than, what would be bad? What would be bad? If it was less than 71? So what would be bad?
Is it
Okay, if less than 2, there's no, all right, and I suppose we can exit. I don't love that, but it's easy. All right. So let's create a list, which is empty. And then for fname in, now how do we do this? Sys.argv, but that's going to include the first argument. So how do we create a for loop that starts at the second and goes to the end?
is it 1:(-1)?
Or just that's correct, but we could just say 1:, because the emptiness after the colon says go to the end. Oh, that's kind of ugly looking though, but that's the way it is. So file names dot append fname. And now what? There's one line of code missing. I've created the list file names inside this function. How do I communicate the list back out of the function?
Return.
Good. And what?
File names.
Good. All right. Good. So now we can do something like this. File names is equal to get file names from command line. So you assemble the list of file names and then check the list of file names, and then you can process the list of file names. So let's try that. So Python 3 test.py, the name of your program, and p1.jpg and p2.jpg. Good. And Q for quit. Okay, so this is pretty cool, but let's say you had hundreds of file names to do. Would this be practical? Actually, the answer is it depends. So from the command line, if you said star.jpg, it is actually going to load all of the pictures, but out of order, and there are other problems as well. Maybe I shouldn't even said that. So right now, can you think of another way of specifying all of the file names that you might want to work with in project 5? Okay, so way number 1 was to hard code them. Way number 2 is here, and that's to specify them on the command line. So I'm going to write down, because we're not going to have time to finish, I'm going to write down 2 other ways. So way number 1 was hard code. That is not preferable. Way number 2 is get them from the command line. Easy enough, but may be impractical depending upon how many you have to do. How about a very simple way is write the file names into a text file, then read the text file, because that's only one file name. So in other words, you might have a, I can't see what I'm writing there. You might have a text file that said, in Colin's case, he named everything horse. So horse1.jpg. You might have a file that looks like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay. So, and if you save this as perhaps a file called, oh, I don't know, horse list.txt, then you know how to open a file and you know how to read the lines out of a file. You could do it that way.
But if it's reading the titles of other files out of a text file, that works?
Yep.
Oh,
It's just a string.
okay, fair enough.
I think we have 14 minutes. Why don't we implement this? But first, let me add the 4th way. Okay, the fourth way is write code that will intelligently go find the files. And that we definitely won't have time for today, but we'll do it on Thursday. So with that said, let's write number 3, okay? So def get file names. Now you see why I was so specific, from a text file. And let's, all right. Okay, can you help me out?
Well, first things first, all your stuff is gonna not work because she's confused and she thinks it's still, you put it all in quotes.
Oh, yeah. Yep, okay, but that was the first thing. Okay, so how do you open a file for reading? Okay, so starting with that. Okay, we did this many times, more times when we were writing CSV code. But this time, it's not CSV, we just want to read the file for text. So how about with file, with open, file containing the list of files as file.
So this would just be the normal reader and not the CSV dot reader?
We're not using CSV.
Right, so this is just the regular reader.
Yep. File name, it's not a reader, it's just
Just,
just
it's read lines, isn't it?
What?
Read lines, isn't it?
Yeah, read line.
Just
Okay.
one.
So how about file names dot append? Just remember, we're making a list of file dot read line. And we're done. Return file names. How about that? All right, I'm going to stop here. Because, all right, well, I won't stop here, but I will fix what I've got so we can at least try it out. So mine are just the numbers. So I just fixed my list. All right. So I fixed my list. So instead of getting it from the command line, I'll keep that, but I'll comment it out in case I want to put it back later. And what did I call it? From a text file. All right, let's try that. So Python, and instead of giving the file names on the command line, I'll say, give it the name of my file that contains a list of files. One.jpg cannot be found. Oh, so mine starts at 0, but that's not a problem. And maybe this is where we're going to stop. I know what the problem is. And we did experience it in a prior class. Let's see, I go up to 11. Can anybody, the clue is on screen as to what the problem is. The clue is right here. So last thing for today's class is, can you tell me what I think the clue is?
It's trying to go in order.
Oh, in order is okay. We want it to go in order,
Right.
right? But the clue, look right here. The clue as to what's going wrong. You see, it says file 1.jpg isn't there, but yes, it is. It's right here. Okay, but there's a clue as to what's going wrong in those two lines. Do you remember when you use read line? All of the lines that you read will end with anybody?
The end line code.
Yes, that's right, Milo. Thank you. So let's put in the handling for that. All right, so get file names from the text file. So a red inner line I'm going to make this a little bit different. So file name equals to the read line. Now let's take a look. And of course, what we want to do is append fname, right? So let's take a look. So if fname, the last one, the last character, is a new line, then strip it away. One way of doing that is fname equals fname 0, comma, -2, not comma, colon. All right, let's try that. Oh, I forgot a colon. Uh-oh, did I go too far? What does it say now? Well, first of all, look, the error before, this was the clue. The error is on 2 lines. There's a new line in there. Notice that once I've removed the new line, the error is on 1 line. That was my clue. So maybe I went too far. I'll change that to a -1. And that worked. And it's here somewhere. Well, it's here somewhere. I don't know where it is. Is it here? Ah, okay. So this isn't going to work completely, but it did show one of the images. Okay, well, that's as far as we're going to go today. So what we were on about is exploring different ways of getting in that list of 12 images. You could hard code it, but that's not preferable. You get them from the command line, that works pretty well. But what if it was hundreds of images, not just 12 or 2? we could write all the names to a text file and then read in the names from that text file, which is what we did today, just now. And then finally, we could write code to intelligently find the files on its own. And that we will definitely not be able to do today. Now, this doesn't mean that you can't do your project 5. You're welcome to use any of these techniques. Okay, anybody have any questions?
For the project, do you want us to define a main function and do it how we did it today?
Yes, please. That's the quote proper format for a Python program. When you don't use that method, it's it's completely okay not to use the main and if name equals main technique. It's okay, but it means that you are going to lose a little bit of functionality in that you wouldn't be able to import that file into another Python program. But if you have no need to ever do that, then what the hell? Why not?
When is the project
Do?
due?
Let's take a look. About 8 minutes from now. Okay. So Monday, April 12th. Okie dokie.
All right.
All right, so reminder, on Thursday, I'll be here in the classroom. And if you would like help doing any of the projects, I'll be here to help you. Okay, I want everyone to get a great score. Okay, everybody. There's just a few of us online. Thank you for making it this far. Then I'll see you on Thursday. Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.